Well, hello there and welcome back to this F1 2017 career mode with the Sauber F1 team. We're at Baku now for, I believe it's round 9, so we're really motoring our way through this career mode, almost half distance now. Practice has been okay. We've got purple in 3 and green in the other 2, and I've got a nice little setup as well. Found myself to be sort of, about half a second ahead of both my teammate and the McLarens as well. So a similar pace to what we had in Canada, but being Baku, it's a very challenging circuit. Although I'm finding my feet quite alright, to be honest, not making too many mistakes, only a couple of little end plates I've dropped off in the practice session. So we'll listen to the voicemail then for the qualifying goal that the team have set me. So qualifying 19th place and beat our new rival Romain Grosjean. That was announced to me a couple of minutes ago. So we saw Wehrlein in the last episode at Canada, and now we've got Grosjean as our new rival. This will be a bit difficult because Grosjean is in the Haas. It's an established midfield team and we're not quite there yet. We're sort of nipping at the heels. So it's going to take a bit of me to manage to consistently beat Grosjean. But we'll give it a go and see what happens. So on my laptop, just brush up on everything that's happened at the moment. We've got 1,665 resource points, so we'll be spending some of them after this race is done. No R&D in progress. We have taken a new front wing. If I look at the R&D tree here, this came in after the last event. So this is fresh on this car and it hasn't failed. It's passed everything straight away, which is nice, unlike the rear wing when we had that done. So we're starting to get there on the aero. That's 2 things now done. As for the power units, we're now onto our 4th of everything. We're already up to 52% on the ICE. Everything else is in the 20s or the 30s. In fact, even the electronics is 14 and the energy store is 18. These two are okay. They still have some quite life in them, but everything else is pretty much now getting close to the end of its life. Certainly the MGU-H's and the K's as well. As for the gearbox, we're now onto our 3rd race for this one. It's 63%, already starting to have a little bit of trouble. I lost a gear twice in FP3, so it's probably going to go again in both qualifying and the race, which is very annoying depending on what gear it is. We do have a brand new gearbox here, but I kind of want to push these ones as far as I can. Certainly don't want to put the 4th gearbox in until we've done more R&D work on the reliability for the gearbox to keep the wear down, because I think probably in a 2 or 3 races, well, probably next race, to be honest with you, we're going to have to start asking for maybe some more engine parts, which will really hurt us on the grid with the penalties for it. So we'll go to short qualifying, then 12 minutes around Baku. We're not going to have a lot of time, but we will hopefully get at least 2 flying laps in, at least, as long as we don't make a mistake, and yeah, see where we end up at the end of the session. So we're in the garage. Let's go make sure that the setup that I had in FP3 is still on the car. Yep, here it is then. Drop the fuel down nice and low. So the aero is 5.4 on the wings. Transmission is 50 and then 70. Suspension geometry all the way to the right for the camber, all the way to the left for the toes. Suspension is as follows: 11.5, 11.5, 11.3. Brakes 95 and 55, so very nice on the brakes. Tyres, front tyre pressure is all the way up, rear tyre pressure is all the way down, and the weight distribution is at a nice 7. So then, we'll get out on track, see what we can do on our first flying lap. So just come around to complete the out lap now. Fuel mix is in the max settings. This is a great little part of the circuit, although it's very easy to hit the outside wall there and completely ruin your race. Get the DRS open, max speed all the way to the first corner, and let's see what we can do. So coming out to the line now, I've hit the wall in sector 2 and I've got a red end plate on the left hand side, so this isn't going to be a representative time. Really quite disappointed with that. Yeah, as you can see there, a few guys still haven't managed to do their lap. There's just under 4.5 minutes left, so I'm going to wait for the front wing damage to be done, and then we'll change tyres and go for one more lap, because I know I can definitely improve on that. But disappointed with the front wing, which leaves it all to do at the end of the session. So then just come at the garage now then to complete our out lap. Take it nice and easy, look after the tyres, and try not to hit anything. So an out lap is almost completed now. DRS is open. Let's see what we can do. So there we go, and Lewis Hamilton takes pole position by 700 second from his teammate in Bottas. Ferrari's third and fourth. Ocon has done well in fifth, and Grosjean, well, he's never going to be our rival, was he? If he's going to qualify in sixth place. Hulkenberg and Palmer also make two Renaults in the top 10. Further down, wasn't the best lap in the world, although he did improve 7/10 off of Stoffel van Dorn, and Ricardo Magnussen failed to set a lap time for whatever reason. So yeah, our pace that we had in practice has sort of disappeared at the moment. The lap itself felt alright, although I did clip a couple of high curbs and probably lost maybe a couple of attempts in each one. So I think it might have been the perfect lap. We should have really had probably about another 5 or 6 attempts out of it. So we've got it all to do then in the race. Let's hope it's a bit of a crazy start and we keep out of it. Look after all the bits in the car and try to get to the end of the race without any more incidents. So the resource points then for the qualifying session, probably about 70 odd, 60 it is indeed. The rivalry update, yep, 2-1 so far. That's probably going to go up, to be honest, after the race. Certainly with Grosjean qualifying in 6th. Reputation level's gone down a little bit, which is a shame. Only Haas and McLaren are showing a little bit of interest. So we'll listen to the voicemail then and see our race targets for Baku. So finish the race in 19th and beat Grosjean if we can, and the championship target is remain at least 19th or above. So very achievable on finishing the race in 19th and the championship target as well. Beating Grosjean, I don't know, he needs a lot of trouble for us to manage to beat him. So have a look at the laptop quickly, just check all the parts. We're not going to change anything. Just want to make sure that everything is okay anyway. So the ICE is at 55%. Everything else is okay. It's still in the green, so that's fine. The gearbox is now up to 65%, so it's not too bad really. I mean, you look there, obviously the patch has definitely worked. We've done 3 races with this gearbox, it's 66%. We've done 2 races with one 65, but this one was, I think, low 50s after 1 race. So definitely do some more gearbox work and then use this one for 6 in a row. And then we can get a new gearbox without getting a penalty, which is quite nice. So we'll go to the race then and see what we can do from 18th on the grid.
Let's remind ourselves of yesterday's qualifying session with a look at the starting grid. An immense lap from Lewis Hamilton yesterday puts him on pole position, and Valtteri Bottas will line up alongside. Looking down the rest of the grid, we have Raikkonen, Vettel, Esteban Ocon, and Grosjean, Massa, Hulkenberg, Verstappen, and Jolyon Palmer, Sainz, Kvyat, Lance Stroll, and Perez. Verline, Alonso, Stoffel van Dorn, and the Sauber, Ricardo, and Kevin Magnussen rounds off the grid.
So then, no one has picked up any penalties for anything, which means that we do keep our 18th place on the grid. Race strategy, super softs and then soft tyres. It's quite heavy on fuel here, I've noticed, so we'll probably bump it up to 14.5, see what we can do for that. Session forecast, cloudy throughout, so I'm not expecting any rain. And yeah, that's the strategy. We'll go to the formation lap and then get the race underway. So then here we are, the lights are coming on now. Let's build the revs up and keep it clean to the first couple of corners. Lights out now. Lighting up the rear tyres, not a bad start. We've already got the jump on one of the McLarens. Bit of contact with Perez there, we're up to 14th. So coming to be in the lap 1 now. I've got Stroll all over my gearbox. Which way is he going to go? It's going to go nowhere. Good top end speed we've got. Very good. He's managed to get past us, but we're going to do the old switch back here. Can we hold it around the outside? Oh! We're getting very dicey behind me. We've got some very quick guys. Oh, I've lost one of the gears already. I think it's 5th. He had a flag for something, not too sure what. been a crash. Yeah, we've lost fifth gear. There's been a crash at the castle section. So Perez and Ricciardo have crashed in the castle section and they're out of the race. So pretty much everyone that was behind us has made a pit stop, picking up damage. And team have just informed me that they can't fix the gearbox. So we might be running around without a fifth gear for the majority of this race. So up to 12th place momentarily, as Verstappen has made his pit stop. Team are asking if I want to come out at the end of this lap. To be honest, I probably will. Pitting now is a good idea, to be honest, because I can try and cover the threat from the guys that made a pit stop early on. So we're coming in at the end of this lap then. Should rejoin in 13th fairly comfortably. Very strange pit entrance here. Here it is. Not bad. So that the pit's indeed in 13th place. We've got about a 4 or 5 second gap to Magnussen. Hopefully we can hold at least 13th until the end of the race. Well, that's going to help us a little bit. Magnussen's obviously got an engine problem or something. So that little attack he was lining up will now be dead in the water. So 3 laps to go in a second. Running rich mix has certainly helped us, because last time round the gap was 3.8 and now it's gone up to 4.1. So we're doing well, we're defending well from Stroll. Oh, Vettel's at the race and his name popped up and it put me off in the braking zone. I nearly joined him on the sidelines. Now he's up to 12th then. So then into the final lap, can we keep Stroll back? We have to knock it down to standard fuel mix because we're almost out of fuel. Gap's down to 2 seconds exactly. Be less than that now after making that mistake. He's right behind us. I think he's going to do us. Stroll's going to do to us what Bottas did to him in the race. I think as much I can do. I'm going to drive in the middle of a track. It's a drag race, but here he goes with a DRS. So it's going to be 13th place then. Oh, look at that. So there we go then, there's the race classification for the Baku Grand Prix. Hamilton wins from Bottas with Raikkonen completing the podium in 3rd. Massa is in 4th place, Verstappen's 5th. Good result then for Ocon in 6th, and Kvyat has risen from 12th to 7th. Grosjean, Sainz and Hulkenberg complete the top 10. Stroll did get his end on the line, he's beaten us by just under a tenth of a second. A 47.003 as our fastest lap. I mean, to be honest with you, it's only 5 tenths off of Carlos Sainz and he finished 9th. Magnussen then obviously had engine troubles and finished further back. Then we had Fernando Alonso, Pascal Wehrlein and Stoffel Van Dorn, almost a lap down to be honest with you. Vettel, Perez and Ricciardo all retired from the race, so 13th place, not too bad really to be honest, although all these guys behind us did have early pit stops for either a change of strategy or to change front wing, and we almost had Stroll but he got us on the line. So we'll have a look at the standings then. Hamilton continues to extend his lead at the top. He's now 30 points clear of Raikkonen in 2nd place, with Bottas in 3rd, who's jumped Vettel after he failed to finish. Further down the order, we've now dropped down to 15th place as Kvyat's 7th place has moved him ahead of us. So we're tied for points with Palmer. We're 1 ahead of Magnussen, and then we've got Stoffel Van Dorn on a single point, and then Alonso and our own teammate Wehrlein have yet to score. So at the moment, it looks good for us finishing 19th or above. In the constructors, Mercedes extend their lead. They're now on 254 points. Ferrari are in second place on 214. And Red Bull are, you would say, a safe third on 122, but Williams have had a good handful of points. And we've got Force India, Renault, Toro Rosso, Haas with more points, and then 11 points ahead of us. We're in 9th on 8 points, but we're still crucially 7 points ahead of McLaren. So then the resource points. 125, very nice. We kept it clean. I'd like to point out in that race I didn't hit the barrier once, although I nearly did when I noticed that Vettel retired, and it momentarily put me off. But we had no problems in the race. Didn't hit anyone, didn't hit any of the barriers, so 13 nice clean laps at Baku. The resource points as first driver bonus, we get 5%, so that's 24 added on top. And then the rivalry, unfortunately, will now be slipping away from Grosjean, 3 points to his 6. And then the reputation level has gone up a little bit of everyone, but quite a bit with McLaren. 19th or above, we achieved that and beat Pascal Wehrlein. Oh, so the rivalry doesn't count for that. I thought it did. So essentially, just keep beating our teammate the way we are, and it will keep creeping up. We're now definitely, I'll probably say, a little bit over halfway in the purple. So if we can keep it up, hopefully the reputation level will go up with it. And finally, the career score for this weekend, 2850 for the practice. Yeah, we missed a couple of purples out. Everything else is relatively clean. So just under 7,000. Not bad for Baku personally, because it's another track like Monaco I don't like. And that's it then. Nice view of a couple of buildings over the back of us there, but it's nice and sunny outside. So have a quick look at the laptop then, because we're going to be spending some resource points. Everything to do with this I'll be completing in the first practice session at the next event. So resource points, resource points, resource points. Nothing in progress. We've almost caught up to McLaren. So then, the first things first, the durability. Let's get, I don't know, should we really do the gearbox? I mean, to be honest with you, durability is one thing we're really struggling on. I mean, outright pace is another thing as well. But we're now in danger zone of asking for new parts. And in fact, to be honest, I think before the qualifying session for, I think it's Austria next, I will probably be asking for a new ICE unit, which means we will take a grid drop, unfortunately. So I'm tempted to spend quite a bit of money on all of this to get everything all sorted out. Recommend upgrade. What does Chris recommend? He recommends the central under tray to get the chassis development on the go, and it will certainly help because we're lagging behind a little bit. However, the aerodynamics were looking quite strong, and we could spend quite a bit of money here. So it's a bit of a difficult one really, but I think durability anyway, I think we'll spend all of our tokens on this because we certainly need more reliability and less penalty points during the course of the season. So certainly gearbox, we will do that one. Very nice. What we've got over here, we've got the MGU-H, the MGU-K and the electronics. The electronics and the turbocharger seems okay to be honest, but certainly the internal combustion engine we need an upgrade on, and we have enough money for one more upgrade. Energy store also seems okay, so we'll probably let's have a look. MGU-H or K. K seems quite worse because that's the one that we use for Rich Mix, and so we're definitely getting through them, so we'll spend another 500 on that. So that's quite a bit of a durability now spent on. We've got 384 resource points, so hopefully if we have a good week in Austria as well, we should be able to I don't know, maybe do another 2. We should be over 1,000. We'll have to see how it goes. So that's pretty much it then really. Chris can't recommend an update. We have upgrade. We haven't got enough resource points. So yeah, unfortunately we may have to order our 6th ICE unit, which means we'll be taking a grid drop penalty for Austria. In fact, we almost certainly will. You can have a quick look now, to be honest with you. Gearbox is now 71% after 3 races. Let's have a look. 65%. Yeah, so we're in danger zone here. I don't even think that will be able to last the whole of Austria, which is a shame because everything else is okay for now, for the next event anyway, but certainly we will almost certainly be taking a grid drop penalty for our 5th ICE unit of the season. But that was Baku then. Pace was a little off, to be honest. It didn't help in the first few laps that we lost, I think, 5th gear. Before that we were sort of hanging on to the back of the midfield train above us, but I'm still happy with 13th place. Should have been 12th, but Stroll managed to get us at the end, but it's nice to get Baku out the way of anyway. Next event then, round 10 at Austria, is a personal track favourite of mine, so I'll be hoping for an upturn and fortune next time out. So thank you very much for watching this one, and I'll see you all very soon.